where we're at.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us here on week 13 of the podcast. So I'm, of course, Gregor Guy, depending upon how you know me, joined here by Mr. Casey and Mr. Cuz. We got the goddamn fucking OG crew back together.
5M, bitch.
I'm glad you're feeling better, man.
Thank
It
you.
was a rough past couple weeks.
God, I'm glad you're back.
Although we did have some good times.
Yes. What's the podcast about?
Virtual world.
Got any ideas for this virtual world?
I'm going to roll with it.
You're going to let it go completely off the rails.
It's already off the rails.
No, I'm talking like down into the meadow.
It's well beyond the meadow. We were already like traveling along on a bridge, and we've already tumbled like fucking
Wild
600
Coyote
feet into the
threw
water.
TNT on it, and Roadrunner kicked it off.
Well beyond that. Thanks to you.
Now we got Daria saying, "What?
The fuck is Daria?"
See what I'm saying? Alright, fair enough. Anyway. Moving on, or...
I don't know, you tell me.
Moving on. Did I actually make it all the way through introductions?
I have no idea.
You didn't even
Either way, this week, here, we are going to talk about the virtual world.
Mr. Casey.
This is... Anyway, idea that you proposed to me, so I'm going to throw it to you first. Let me get your thoughts on, I guess, whether or not we are living in a simulation. If we are, the simulation fucking sucks.
I don't think that currently we are living in a simulation. I think that it's something, in my personal perspective, that we are going to, to some levels, we are living in a virtual world when it comes to like social media sites and things like that. But I think that eventually we're going to plug ourselves in and we're going to allow ourselves to live in virtual worlds rather than real life. It's kind of like the Matrix, how you want to say that the robots enslaved us. I don't think they're going to force us to walk into those machines. I feel like we are going to walk into them and plug ourselves in.
Because we're too self-aware about reality. So we're going to go into a virtual world to make ourselves feel better.
Well, you have to think about why we play video games. Why we play video games.
Escape reality.
To be entertained and
escape
sucks. Reality. And there's multiple different types of reality that can be created. In fact, some people play games that almost reflect real life. I don't know the names of certain games like that, but there are games like that
you know what's interesting is that there was an actual study on your personality versus the types of games that you play.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, like, if you were to play, like, Gears of War, your personality type would fit that type of game genre. Or, like, first-person shooter, shoot everyone. Or if you go to, like, the RPG fantasy thing. You know what I mean? Like a Diablo. You know
I think
your personality goes towards what type of genre?
I think it goes both ways. I think that you're predetermined to want to kind of live that lifestyle, and I also think when you're in it, it also influences you. It also depends on how good the game is.
Right. Because you can jump into any one as long as you, like we stated before, you escape reality.
Right. You have something to say?
I don't know. Am I allowed to talk now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where does virtual reality and augmented reality play into this? Is that not like already starting to plug yourself into these particular types of systems and so on and so forth?
That's where Elon Musk and his fucking neurochip.
Elon Musk doesn't give a fuck about, the Neuralink thing. Oh shit, I didn't even think about that.
Mm-hmm.
Neuralink too.
Right. I mean, we're plugging ourselves in more and more every single day.
Have you not also heard about these motherfuckers getting the RFID chips implanted in themselves in order to unlock their fucking house and shit like that?
And go into their actual job.
I think that's it's definitely crossing the line, personally, in my opinion.
It's still a prototype, but it's still happening.
To have chips inside of your body. I get it. Every day we walk around with a chip on our body.
Right, but, actually implanting it.
But to
into
actually
your body.
implant a chip is crossing a line for me.
But it's going to evolve from the phone to something else, right? Like it's going to be on your forearm or whatever it may be.
Also, at the same point in time, what's it really matter if you're plugging into the virtual world and you're just fucking off over there all night, like Timescape?
If it makes you feel better.
Well, my just personally, my cross the line is to actually put something foreign into my body that does not belong there.
But if other people test it, and there's no
What about alcohol?
I choose to put alcohol into my body.
Right.
Something foreign that doesn't belong there.
I will not.
It's a vague definition. I mean, you understand.
Right, yeah, I understand it's very vague. I will not put
a physical object,
physical computer chip into my body. I will not. I mean, if I have a heart attack and somebody wants to if they put like a heartbeat monitor or something like that inside me,
if I have a heart
that's
attack,
fine.
do not resuscitate me.
I would prefer not
to.
to.
It's on the internet now, boys.
But anything that can track me or control me,
everything.
I understand.
You're in America.
I understand. There's a lot of stuff going around.
You have a Facebook
they
account.
try to implant they try to change history, and they try to implant propaganda into you so that you act. And
psychological manipulation.
Right.
Do you have a Facebook account?
I used to a couple of years ago.
Oh, so you deleted it?
I believe it still exists, but I do not use it.
Okay, fair enough. All right. I was going to say, if you have a Facebook account, they are tracking you, and they are trying to use you to bend to their will.
Okay,
I do not use.
You want to go down that route,
right? Facebook or any other social media.
Do you search things on your phone?
Yes, but I use DuckDuckGo.
No, it doesn't even matter. Porn. Everything that your thoughts go through on that phone, they're recording it.
I use DuckDuckGo, which blocks websites from tracking.
It doesn't matter. They're still tracking you, bro.
I understand that there's the probability that they can still
it makes
get
you feel better
information, but I does make me feel better that I believe that I am at least somewhat protected onto my searches. Although I don't search anything that would be considered main in the. I don't want to say mainstream because mainstream's gone off the fucking rails.
Yeah, what is mainstream
in these years? But anything that could
mainstream.
Be legally or morally incorrect, because first of all, I don't look up anything that would be morally incorrect anyways.
What is morally? Depends on what your morals are.
That is also true, but that's not that would be considered illegal.
Right, that's what it comes down to. There's a gray area.
Searching something would be considered illegal. What? Okay.
Generally speaking, the laws... I do want to say that generally speaking, the laws that are in place, not perfect, but they're
generalized.
Generally follow along a moral pathway. The problem is that nowadays, the laws that are in place are not being enforced or are being enforced incorrectly in some instances.
But some of them are being enforced incorrectly too.
Correct. Or not being enforced at all, which would be a bigger problem.
That we do.
Now I've completely lost whatever track of thought
I know, bro.
I'm completely.
So I broke the momentum.
Yeah. Yeah, you definitely did that one.
So do you guys think that do you agree with me that one day we're going to plug ourselves into the system?
I'd do it right now.
You would right now.
Right now.
Plug yourself in to
as long as I didn't have to worry about working or money, I would do it right now.
This is what I think is going to happen. People are going to go to work. Instead of coming home and watching TV, they're going to plug themselves into the network.
Why would they have to leave their house if the network was?
They wouldn't have to leave their house. The network's in your house.
Was so good that you could work while being plugged in.
Because you probably wouldn't be able to.
Why would you?
Why not?
How would you?
Why
You
can't
would
the
plug
network
yourself in,
adapt to
and
be able to-
virtually you would be at work.
So you're going to plug yourself in, and
Work
your body's going to be able to
Work
fucking...
would be a video game. Say.
If that...
I don't know. I don't know if you've ever guys have
Careful.
ever seen it before. The no pixel Grand Theft Auto 5. Basically, these people are living lives inside of a video game, and because the police have to be powerful in order to keep the server in balance, because there's a lot of criminals and there's a lot of cops. Now they do actual literal investigations. They go to crime scenes. They take a camera. They can see the fucking the bullet shells and stuff. They take pictures of it. They do blood samples. If there's blood on the ground, they can tell.
How do they do blood samples?
They know whose blood it was that got shot there.
How?
This is how they do it. Do you see how in depth and
Right, but my question is how? How are they able to take a blood sample, send it to the fucking DNA lab or whatever, and be like, oh yeah, this is fucking
They don't have to use
positive.
it. They don't have to go to the DNA lab. They know exactly who it is.
I'm going to break your whole
works.
theory here. Have you
Right.
ever played The Evil Within 2?
I
Or
have
even
not.
The Evil Within 1?
I have not.
When there's a collective mind, one person's a psychopath. And when one person's a psychopath, that breaks the whole structure of the whole entire fucking cyber connectivity there.
But here's the one thing that I'm just speaking.
If
upon
someone
that,
has a powerful mind, they're going to take over the whole entire network.
I don't know if it's necessarily a powerful mind, but they have to have the power to do it.
Have you played The Evil Within?
I have not. So
It's a
this is
fucked
where
up game.
this is where I'm going with
I
it.
made it through, like, I guess the first part,
It's,
first level.
and it makes sense because one day we're going to be plugged into virtual reality, and imagine how many minds are going to be plugged into that. And if you're plugged into that and someone can hack that, and they're a psychopath, think about that. And you can't get out because if they unplug you, you die.
I have not seen that.
Yeah, you didn't think
but-
about that theory, did you?
Well,
so
I've also
now you're
said-
saying if you just unplug the cord from your head, you die.
right.
That's
I've
that's
also-
a very, very stretch.
If someone hacks
No,
the
it's just
network,
disconnect.
if someone hacks the network,
It's basically the same
Then
thing.
you're fried.
That, think about, like,
if you don't have the energy,
let's say, for instance, Comcast, the service goes out, right?
right?
Guess what? Just because the Comcast service went out, I don't die. I'm still
But
alive.
it's not plugged into your head now, is it?
But if it was,
Okay, well, if this was plugged into your head, and
that is a
disconnected,
huge step. That is a huge leap.
well, that's what I'm
I would
fucking
say.
talking about. If you're plugging into the virtual reality world and you have a neurotrip in your
Well,
head,
I've already told you that I will personally not get any kind of chip inserted into my body or
No.
computer.
well, then you'll just be left behind like they're doing right now. Like with the
Would
coronavirus,
I
for
really
example.
be left behind? Say 90% of the.
You can't go to restaurants.
Careful.
You can't do this. You can't do that. They're going to eventually just take your whole life and turn it upside down until you commit to what they want you to do.
Say,
We can still do whatever the fuck we want.
say,
Right,
say
but you understand what I'm
90%.
saying, right?
As
Like,
long as you don't live in New York.
eventually, they're going to use things like this isn't
They're going
necessarily
to try to, but
this isn't necessarily a rule,
it's
but
not going to fucking stick.
without doing X,
Quite frankly, this
your life is going to be total shit.
quite
That's basically
frankly,
what I'm saying.
very least, this last at least year has been a submissive test as to what
They can control.
what people are willing to do
Yeah,
and willing to put up with.
Absolutely, we talked about this already.
And it's obvious that at certain times you're seeing these lines that they try to push, and then it's just not working out for them, so they back off just a hair, and then they try something else, and they
Right.
just keep on pushing
Well,
in certain
well,
directions.
it's not necessarily even lines. It's more of a narrative that they try to push, and then they try and create lines
Right.
and see
Right.
how far they can actually push that line
Right.
with the narrative that they have created.
Right. Which is basically...
That's my point.
Yeah.
That's
I mean, these people have the power, and they're acting like...
do they have the power?
And they're acting like 13-year-olds.
Yeah, because they keep the majority in this little fucking...
They're acting like teenagers. That,
Even though we see it, It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if the tiny
The
minority...
people out there see it too. I know this. If
Right.
you believe you see it, drop a comment down below. Remember to like, share, and
Subscribe.
Please hit that fucking bell button, dude. God damn.
fair enough. Back to it. Go on.
I personally would like to think that I have faith in humanity to the point where
I already shut you off, man.
you already shut me off about having faith in humanity.
I'm kidding.
I try to look on the brighter side.
Are you optimistic?
I am optimistic that I don't want to talk about the things that are happening right now. But people would be able to see through that. A majority of people.
No, the minority of people can see through that. The majority just are blind. Have you watched anything?
Sheep.
that's going on?
The majority
The
of
sheep.
people are sheep.
And they've always
Let's
been
be
sheep.
honest.
I don't.
The ancient philosophers always talked about the herd. And they've always been there, dude. The minority are the outcasts, and they've been miserable their entire
They
life.
can actually think for themselves, by the way.
Right. But you're miserable. The negative aspect of being independent thinker is that you're just miserable the rest of your life because you don't think with the herd. And that's...
Well, I get out.
I'm okay with that.
I get out of being miserable by being optimistic.
Are you?
Yes, I am optimistic.
About what? Life is pointless and meaningless.
I wouldn't go that far.
Well, then what is so pointless or point?
And now we're going into a different direction.
Well, I'm just asking you. A simple question.
You want to run down this fucking philosophical fucking path this week. I mean, what's your point? Make your point.
I'm gonna hear what.
No,
you guys
make
do.
your point.
I am. What is?
You're not. You're asking him a question. Make your point.
What is meaningless about? What is meaningful about life?
To continue the human race, continue
So
to
survive,
survive.
reproduce,
Right.
and
That's-
what
that
is
the
what is
meaning.
the end goal of that?
To
At
continue.
the same point in time, there's
It's
8
a
billion other
never-ending loop.
motherfuckers out there that can do that.
It's
Right.
a never-ending loop.
Right. So we're parasitic, like I said before. Then, right?
Then everything in the world is parasitic.
Right.
Every single thing that's ever existed is
So I'm
parasitic.
right on that then.
If that's your point of view on it,
Well,
I
then
don't
what's your
see it
point of view on it?
to continue to exist.
But
What? And to-
As soon
to
as you
push on your
die,
own
you will
genes.
not continue.
Yes, but you if you have children, they live through they.
and what is your?
But at
children's
the same
point of
time,
view?
you do not continue to exist. They
That's-
may have a
that's-
picture of you.
I agree.
Okay, so now you existed, but now you have 2 children that are now stopping me from going through that green light, and now eating resources.
What are you
because
fucking
they
talking
need-
about?
Human beings are organic, right? You need
He
resources.
lost me a green light too.
Okay, every human being thinks they're obligated to have another fucking batch of human beings, right? For what?
Pull out, kids.
For what? What are you having human beings for? What's
Wow,
the
so you don't have
objective
babies.
goal of having human beings?
So here's the thing: if you think, so I don't have any children, just saying, but if you think
None of us have children.
I'm going to corner you here in a second, so go ahead.
if you think that my children are in the way of you having your life
Absolutely.
the way that you want, then it's my children's obligation and my obligation to teach them to delete you. Because now at this point,
That's fine. You
At-
can delete me as long as your children get deleted together at the same time.
At this point, you are keeping my children and my legacy from continuing. So at this
Okay,
point,
then
you
what's your
become the
legacy
enemy.
for then? What the fuck is your legacy for? What is your continuing genes going for?
To continue existing.
For what?
For the same reason.
Because you're a parasitic fucking organism, that's what. You're going to keep continuing the breed so that you can keep continuing on and
See
taking
where I
your
punched the
plants.
Yeah. I mean,
There's no real meaning to life.
it is a very negative outlook.
Okay, then what's the positive outlook? To suffer and live for what? It doesn't matter when you
just
die.
suffer. You don't just suffer throughout life, do you?
You got sprinkles of joy and happiness throughout your fucking...
Well, then that's what
90
you're living for.
For what? It doesn't matter when you die. Do you take that happiness with
This doesn't really seem like a problem
you?
for
See, now
me.
he's going to go down this fucking road.
This seems like a problem for you.
Greg, do you see where I'm going?
Yeah, I see that you just told the entire viewership that
I'm a nihilist.
you're beyond a nihilist.
I'm a misanthropist.
And you should probably seek medical help.
No, but that's a reality check there. There's no real meaning to life.
It's not really that you cornered me. You cornered yourself.
Yeah. No, I didn't. What did I corner myself on?
Yeah,
A realistic outlook on reality?
That is your outlook. That is your outlook.
There are arguments to be made for both sides. You took it to an extreme. You took it to an extreme.
I understand your side.
I just sat here and enjoyed it.
Okay, so you're going to continue to take resources off this planet, which makes you a parasite, and your breed...
Everything.
Baby's a parasite, and then the 8 billion other motherfuckers that are eating this planet away,
and
parasite.
And counting. That's the point.
And then we want to go to different solar systems and planets, and then take those resources for what?
For existence.
Yeah, and what is existence?
Elon Musk, you want me to go to Mars? I'm down, number one.
Yeah, but there's no real meaning. There's no real meaning besides selfishness, is what I'm getting at. Our whole entire biology is based off of taking and consuming.
Look, I'm just telling
We're
you.
parasites. And I know you don't like to accept that, but we are parasitic.
You consider yourself a parasite.
You are a parasite.
I consider myself a
Okay, don't eat for a month.
That just has just as much right as anything else.
Don't drink water. Don't take any resources from the planet.
You just told him to basically not drink water for a month.
Right.
That will lead to his death. You can't say that.
Well, then he's not a parasite. Then if he can do that, then he's not a parasite because all of us need energy to live.
Don't not drink for a month.
This argument makes no sense
at
all.
Not. You need energy from other resources, right, from this planet.
If you're out,
which makes you parasitic because you can't survive without taking other resources.
Just humor him and call yourself a parasite.
You're a parasite.
I am not a parasite.
We are all parasites.
I am a living,
here we go,
breathing.
We're all parasites.
Creature.
Here we go.
We're all parasites.
And within your point of view, every single creature and thing on this planet, or anywhere else,
but all the other animals besides human beings stay in their lane. Human beings are selfish and take more than.
Think about this. With what you just said, you just called everyone watching this fucking podcast a parasite.
I'm a parasite.
Human beings take offense to that.
You can take offense all you want, but that's reality.
I'm just saying.
Do you eat food?
Everyone eats food.
Everyone
drinks water.
So when you move, just listen to me. When you move, you consume what? Energy. Even me doing this right here.
Any action or movement consumes energy.
Action.
Calories.
Any negative action or positive reaction has a negative consequence to it.
As in intaking calories and expending calories.
Right. You need energy, and how do we get energy?
We
consume.
Everything consumes.
Drinking booze.
Everything on this planet consumes.
Don't be stupid. You eat food, and that gives you energy so that you can continue moving.
I only eat food on Saturdays.
Yeah, okay. If you only ate food on Saturdays, you're dead. You do not only eat food on Saturdays.
I do eat some pretzels.
Bullshit. There's no way you live all week and not only eat food on Saturday. That is a bullshit fucking accusation for yourself.
Okay.
No fucking way you do.
I eat some pretzels during the week. That's about it.
No fucking way. You got a pizza box sitting on your fucking table out there.
I had pizza yesterday because he came over. It was good pizza too, by the way.
I personally believe that
what is Earth?
You have a very negative,
pessimistic
outlook on life.
Hold on, I feel like I was accidentally in the middle of that because you guys were having a moment.
I'm not telling you that. I'm not
saying it's a negative thing. Right. I'm just saying we're parasitic. Right? Like, I don't think we should go past our solar system.
If we make it there, then we deserve to be
I don't think we
At some point in time, though, if it keeps going the way it's going, we're going to have to.
Right.
You got to accept that.
I don't think, like we control, the deer population, go out and hunt, right? Like, we do all this shit, but yet we never do it the human race. What are we, above all the other animals?
Oh, so you want to do some fucking purge bullshit.
Yeah. The purge is already...
No, I'm not. There's ways to do it without murdering people, and it's called not having sex for a while and getting the population down to a controlled amount. But you know what will ever happen? Nobody will ever stop having sex. So, I think the Earth is going to...
So your solution to the human problem of, resources and everything is just not fucking.
That is a simplistic way of taking care of it, but you know that people aren't going to stop doing that.
So I want to say something right here.
Why do you think people like Bill Gates?
People that have no children, do you think they're going to think along the same lines of that?
Yeah, most of them do.
Actually, they don't. They have no. They have no horse in the race anymore, so they don't really.
You know, statistically, smart people don't have babies over dumb people.
Because it's fiscally irresponsible.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm an antinatalist. You know what that means?
I would not create something if I could not take care of it.
Okay, so you're going to bring a baby in to suffer then?
You're saying that
because life is suffering. You don't suffer.
I would make that baby's life.
Your life is full of joy 24/7, and you're not getting old and you're decaying.
I entertain myself.
Yeah, but deep down, subconsciously, you know you're getting older and you're decaying.
Everybody does that.
And life sucks, right? 90% of the time, life sucks. Come on, Ken. Don't be a fucking bullshitter. Life sucks all the time. You get little sprinkles of fucking little happy juice throughout it, and then the rest of the time it sucks. So don't fucking play this fucking life's fucking optimistic.
I never said that.
Well, you know I'm right, man. Life sucks. Your parents fucked. You're here. You didn't have a say in it.
I love my parents.
I
enjoyed my childhood.
Yeah, childhood.
I had a decent life.
Okay, now as adulthood, you know life sucks.
Now I just do what I can. Do what I want.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Optimistic Ken. Ken Copter over there.
I'm just telling you right now, you have a very negative.
Yeah, you're trying to dodge. You're trying to be optimistic.
I'm not.
You're trying to have
anything.
hope in life. That's the difference between me and you.
And you're trying to project your thoughts onto him just because you think that you were fucking cheated.
No.
There you go.
He's trying to say that life is optimistic. He's looking at
You
hope.
think that you were cheated because you were born.
So do you.
No.
Okay, so life is happy for you.
I've never said that.
Okay, then what is life to you?
I'm just going.
No.
We're just living life.
What is life to you?
We're doing what we're meant to do.
Why does life have to be anything
Survive.
to me? I'm here.
Are you content with life, or are you miserable with life?
Nobody's content with life. Everybody wants more.
No, not more. Are you content with being alive? Is more
right now.
In other words, do I enjoy being on this planet Earth right now?
Right.
I do.
Bullshit. You complain about if YouTube.
I can complain about anything I fucking want to.
If YouTube
it's my prerogative to fucking complain about whatever the fuck.
We'll find something else.
Yeah, we'll do something else.
Like what?
Anything else.
I'll go live on a fucking boat and fish.
Exactly. I'll
you're gonna go fish
$200,000 on an island.
You don't have an island.
No, I'll spend $200,000.
That's where optimistic fucking views come in. They're not based in reality. I don't care what you guys think. You guys are trying to base what you view at life just to get by, but reality is.
It's just a very negative outlook on life, and I think.
What's the positive outlook on life?
He's being downright fucking goddamn outlandish.
No, I'm not. I'm being real. You guys are
I guess that's it for the episode.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching episode 13 of the podcast. Troy is, content on being an asshole. I am joined here by Mr. Casey and Mr. Guy. Gregor Guy, depending upon how you